so cool.
Yeah, and good morning. We're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning is the correct word.
It is a little early for everybody. Jordan had a late night. Jordan, welcome to the circle. Welcome to the circle. Welcome to the Love Pod. You already did the circle. Whoops. We're doing great over here. It's a little early for me too. Welcome to the Love Pod. We are so glad to have you here. We have some controversial fan questions for you. We have some regular questions. We have some games. And of course, I've got Steffi here in spirit with our spirit animal cards. So we'll do that at the end. But tell me, why? I know we can't talk about it too much, but why were you out so late last night?
I was at this like Netflix reality universe event, and it was the craziest thing. Like, it was like everywhere I turned, I saw someone I watched on TV, and I was just trying so hard to like be normal, stay calm and collected, but I was freaking out.
Yeah. Who were you? Yeah. Oh, hi to Angelina from Beyond the Final Cut. I'll jump in with comments every once in a while. So she has a podcast too, and she's watching us live right now.
Awesome.
Who do you even start to talk to? Was there anybody that you were really excited to see?
I mean, I saw Harry Jowsey walk by and I was like, what? Oh my God, Tolu. I love Tolu. I talked to Avery from the mall for a long time. She was great. Talked to Melinda for a second. That was crazy. Like it was still.
I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so exciting. I don't know if I would be starstruck or I would just be overwhelmed, but it sounds like you guys had so much fun and it was so top secret for a while, but now
I know. Now it's out. Everywhere. Yeah.
Were you excited to be there what was it like?
Oh my God. It was at this like huge mansion in Bel Air, and it was like Netflix stuff everywhere. And first of all, we got there late, and so we missed all the awards that they were like doing. I saw the last award, and it was like Jess was getting it, but no, it was awesome. It was so cool.
Awesome. Good. It looks so fun. I hope we get a chance to go sometime. But in the meantime, we know I've read that you really like Big Brother, and that was kind of like a goal show for you. And I know Cassie said the same thing, but the filming requirements are so long. They go on so long. So how did you narrow it down to wanting to go on the circle?
Well, I never got called for Big Brother when I would apply. So for the longest time, I was only applying for Big Brother. And then I was like, well, I'm going to start applying for other things because I don't want to just wait every like once a year. And was kind of like changing the game a little bit, the way it was being played. And I was like, oh, I think it would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I do too. I don't know if I could commit to that long. And that's what Cassie said too. But the circle seems like the perfect amount of time. The only thing is like that lack of social interaction would drive me crazy. How did you pass the time?
Oh, I mean, I did like a 500-piece puzzle, and the puzzle was not the puzzle. I'm saying this weird. The box was not the puzzle. So when I started doing the puzzle and I'm looking at the image, I'm like, this is not what I'm like putting together right now. What's on the box? I thought production was messing with me, and they were like, wait, no, like what's happening? So I built this whole puzzle not knowing what it was. And then once that was done, I remember there was like a period of time where I was just like staring out the window at the street and staring at the walls and looking at like all the players on the TV. Like 4 hours had passed. What is going on?
I spend a lot of time at home, but I think as far as packing for something like that, you can't bring a lot of your typical things. You can't bring anything connected to the internet. You know, you really do rely on puzzles. Was it a good vacation for you, or did you feel very disconnected?
I was just stressed the entire time. The entire time I was there, I was stressed. like really? They would be like, Jordan, have you eaten? And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't eaten. Like I was just so laser focused on the game the entire time. And like the TV that has everyone's pictures on it, that's just up all day. So it just makes your mind race the entire time you're there. You start second guessing everything. You're just like putting scenarios together when you're looking at the screen.
didn't know that. And of course, I'm sure they do those things intentionally. Did you feel like there was anything else? It seems like a pretty laid back reality show, but was there anything else that you felt like they were doing kind of to mess with you psychologically?
Hmm. No, the puzzle thing, I thought they were trying to mess with me at first when the puzzle wasn't the actual puzzle.
The
Then I realized that it was
little
a
thing.
mistake. Yeah.
Would you go on another reality show?
Oh, I would love to. I feel like I would do much better in a game where it's like face to face and you can read body language and see who these people are and like kind of assess that. Whereas like the
Yeah.
circle, it's everything's up for interpretation. You're kind of just making characters of people in your head. I would love to do something in person, social strategy.
I would love to see you on like House of Villains or Traitors
That'd be
because
so fun.
we
That'd be
didn't,
so fun.
yeah, we didn't get your full strategy. Like we got, obviously you had to come in hot because you were late to the game. But do
Right.
you think you would go as hard on another show?
No, I think I would still like lie and like backstab, but it would be
Still
more
lie.
behind the scenes. Like I would be able to like cover my tracks a little bit better instead of like having just like throw everything out in the open.
All right. Now, I
Yeah.
know you've seen all the other seasons of The Circle you had mentioned.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
which season is your favorite and who was your favorite player? Excluding your season.
Yeah. I love you. I just met her last night. Amazing. Um, I'm kind of biased. I love season 3 because I have so many friends on there now. Like season 3 was really
Okay.
fun. But yeah, 2 or 3 are probably my favorites.
Okay.
It's hard to narrow it down.
It's
'Cause it's
fair
been so
enough.
long since I've watched them as well.
I know. That's what I feel like too. People ask me questions about prior seasons and who was on, and I'm like, I'm not a fountain of reality knowledge. I just
Right.
like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's like I react when I'm watching and then I kind of like forget a lot of it.
Yeah. Do you think fans take the shows too seriously?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. It's like it's a reality like game. Like it's literally a game. At least that's how I view it. Like when I was in there, I was imagining like I'm playing Fortnite and it's like I'm shit about you, but I'm not talking shit about you. I'm talking shit about this person that you're playing the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we see a lot of that, especially there's a new Amazon
Right.
show. I don't know if you've seen it, The Goat. And there's players from competition shows, and then there's players from Bravo shows, and ones where you don't really, there's no,
Right.
the only competition is screen time. And it seems like,
Yep.
especially for you, you got this really bad rap where people can't separate Jordan on The Circle from
Mhm.
Jordan, who is a person outside of this game. And we only
Right.
see a little tiny piece of you. So how has that been for you? Is it difficult to deal with?
I mean, the first day I was like, wait, what's happening? When I got on Twitter, like when I first entered the circle before I'd even watched the episodes. And then I watched the episodes and I was like, oh, I get it. There's like a lot of missing context. I see like my edit. But it was fine. It's been a lot of fun. I knew what I was signing up for. Like I said, I'm a huge Big Brother fan, and Big Brother fans are the
Oh,
most brutal. So like I knew what I was signing up for.
all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And now going into another season, I would say if you did another show, I try to be as kind as possible and I talk trash on the side, but nothing I wouldn't say to your face. But you really see
Right.
another light of these cast members that get this villain edit, like
Mhm.
Shake from Love is Blind and Johnny
Yeah.
Bananas from The Challenge. And it's really nice to see. So I hope that if anybody casting is watching, that they give you a call because I know
Yeah.
they're wrapping new seasons and getting into the next ones. But another question we get a lot from the
100%.
fans is, do you have casting advice if people want to get on reality shows?
100%. I want to work in casting one day. That's like my dream. My advice is like this is like so dumb because everyone says it, but it's like literally be yourself. But don't just be yourself. Think about what your story is, find need, and really expand on that. And also like you have to think everyone's like a character of some sort, right? So it's like find what character you think you're going to be portrayed as and don't be fake, but just build on that. Be self-aware of that in your video.
So, did you kind of know that that was the character you were going to be portrayed as?
Like as the villain,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. So when we were filming, I knew it, but like, so I love the
Okay.
villains and like reality TV. And I don't mean like the people that are actually bad people,
Yeah.
but I mean like and like Big Brother, like Janelle, like the villainous players. Those were my favorite. So I knew I wanted to play a game like that. When I was in there and we were filming, I was like, oh, I'm definitely the villain. Like I can tell I'm going to be the villain. But it wasn't necessarily pre-planned. It was just that's like the type of gameplay that's entertaining for me to watch.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be that.
You know, I think people forget that. It can be a very boring season if there isn't somebody to root against, because you do
100%.
get a lot of online hate. But
Yeah.
we have interviewed a lot of TV villains, especially from dating shows, and everybody's always been so kind. You've been so kind. And it's so funny because it's like, yeah, you're really not that bad. Like everybody loves to hate, but it's a game. There's only one winner. There's only one of you that's going to get that bag. But did you have any other cool opportunities? Obviously, you're in this Netflix universe now, but that came from you being on the show.
I mean, going to this Netflix event just now was crazy. I'm trying to think. Have any not yet. I mean, other than this was awesome. The coolest thing of my life. But not yet. But it's still so fresh. You know, it's only been like 2 weeks, I think. 2.5 now. I don't know. Time's flying since the show wrapped. So I'm interested to see what comes for sure.
Has it really only been 2.5? It feels like months. I mean, you guys have done so much.
I think, right. Or maybe it's been 3.
It's still relatively fresh. I heard from a little bird that you guys snuck into the Netflix as a joke festival. Can you tell me more about that?
Oh my God. So it was like Netflix is a joke. The outside event, we're walking by, we're like, we're on Netflix. Like, can we just try? So Cassie, she just walks in. She's like, hey, we're checking in. Sorry, we're a little late. Just acted like we were supposed to be there. And they were like tapping on their computer for a minute. And then they had to like walk someone over. and then Cassie's husband was like, look, this is him. And like shows a picture from the circle. And then suddenly we were in.
That's awesome. I know. I can't believe you guys weren't invited. Of all the people, it's like the most recent show to come out and the most recent season. Like, what were they thinking? But I'm glad that you guys got in and now you're part of this, the superlative event this weekend. Hopefully they filmed it and we'll get to see that. But in the meantime, we have other fan questions for you. Nothing too brutal. We don't hate like that.
We can go brutal.
Oh boy, maybe I'll pop up Reddit then. So let's see our first question. Oh yeah, some of these questions come from Reddit.
Okay.
How do you feel about Myles now?
Fine, completely fine, great. So I think there's this it was very easy for us to separate game from real life. Like after we filmed finale, everyone was at the hotel. We were up talking really late. Myles and I were the last 2 up and we just talked about the entire game and everything. Like 3 weeks after the show aired, I went and stayed with Myles, hung out with QT and Steffi all weekend. Like, we're fine. Everything's great.
Good. And then you answered this one on Instagram, but I'll ask it again for anybody who didn't see. Did you get to meet the real star of the show, Deuce?
Yeah. So during finale, he like came out on stage when the final 5 was sitting there, and he was so adorable. I don't know why they didn't air it. It was very adorable.
Yeah, you want to see as much dog content as possible. And that is from Swoopsy, who is actually watching right now. So thank you for the question. Hey. And then what is the weirdest hate comment you got?
Ooh, my DMs are crazy. Like they are crazy. And like people send paragraphs and I'm like, I'm not reading all that, but I'm glad you wasted your time like sending this giant hate mail to me. I've had some really crazy things happen that I'm not going to talk about because
specific thing. Do you have a message for like the fans who kind of go a little too crazy about things like that?
No, because it's all just a projection. Like if you're going out your way to hate on someone that hard stuff that you need to deal with, and that's a reflection of you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know. And that makes me sad because whatever they have going on in their own life, but still, that doesn't mean they need to bring it to you. Go to therapy, everybody. It's great. Oh, speaking of therapy, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But hi, Jordan. I know you came on the show with the intentions of winning. Do you regret anything about it? And if so, what?
I don't have any regrets. Like hindsight's 2020, obviously. Like I think maybe one thing I could have done is QT was always my biggest threat in the game, but I was paired up with her. Like I couldn't.
No problem.
I think what I could have maybe done is shift my focus onto Kyle, but I thought I was working with Kyle. So I didn't know Kyle didn't like me. So I didn't have any regrets.
Yeah, it's so different to watch it back versus to be in that moment because we
Yeah,
see everything going on. So was there
right.
anything you were surprised by from the other cast members once you saw it?
Let me think. Um, I was surprised that Lauren was really just being herself. Like she was just this nice girl, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's too nice. Like she's just playing like the game."
Yeah.
And no, she was just being so genuine. She was playing like season one of The Circle. She would have excelled in season one.
Yeah. I don't know. Joey was hard to beat, especially because him
Yeah.
and Shuby obviously were so close. But I thought it was so funny that everybody, because she's nice, immediately thought,
Yeah.
no, this is an impossibility. There's not humans like that in the world.
Yeah. Literally. Well, it's also because like, well, when you're in there, it's like the issue is like you think other people are playing the same way you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one. Now, I know that you watched the other seasons, and Unicorn Princess 87 said historically, the winner is always based off of genuine connections, not being the most strategic. So, did you kind of get that sense going in, and why didn't it influence your gameplay?
Oh well, like throughout casting, throughout everything, like they were talking about how they were looking for like strategic players and how this was going to be like a
Sure.
really strategic season. So knowing that, I was just kind of thinking the game was going to be different this time, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Um, and also like my strategy was like the opposite of the circle strategy. Like I was trying to make myself at the end be the biggest target so people would think I have no shot. Instead of it being a popularity contest where I'm at the top because people like me, I was hoping that enough people would rate me high thinking I had no shot, and that would get me the win. So I was just playing the game a little bit differently.
Yeah. This is the first season I see, even though everybody's played, not everybody, but people have played strategically before.
Right.
You, QT, Miles. I mean, there was so much strategy. And I actually think that made it more interesting.
Right. I
Um,
agree.
Having watching prior seasons, do you think that makes for a better game for fans?
Well, for me, yes, but like for the Circle fans, I don't know because a lot of the Circle fans like the OG Circle, and I feel like we're entering like a new era of the Circle a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, for me personally, yes, I love the gameplay, but for the general audience, I'm not sure.
Now, from Oh Knows What Now? What were your thoughts when you watched the show and saw the players react to your chats? We saw a little bit of this, but not specifically the chats.
Am I frozen?
Nope, you're back.
Okay. So I was shocked that Kyle was upset that I didn't choose his chat. I was so shocked by that.
Yeah, you
Like
can
I was
only
like, what is
choose one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was really surprised by that. Let me think. Kyle, like I knew from talking to him after that he was not buying anything that I was selling. But watching him react every time, like that scene where I was like opening a private chat with him, and he's like, Jordan, no, 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 why are you doing this? It was so funny. Kyle's reactions were the most funny to me.
I think he had the most memorable facial expressions. They had
Yeah.
this category most meme worthy for the Netflix superlatives, and I was surprised he wasn't on there, especially
Right?
with Juice. I thought they'd
Oh
be
my
shoo-ins.
Yes, yes. I think they just didn't want too many people from 3 on there. I think that's what ended up happening.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Kyle could have
Let's
been on there. There could have been a few of us.
there were definitely categories I was surprised to see, but I don't watch every single show.
Yeah.
It's just too many to keep up with. This is a
Oh,
good one from MW407. What is your fantasy drag race all winners 2 cast?
ooh. Well, that's a little hard because I've only seen a few seasons of Drag Race. I just got into it. But let's just talk based on like who I like. So
Okay.
Monet's already been on there, but bring her back with Bob. I would love to see them both on there.
Okay.
No enough winners. I'm not gonna be able to answer this question.
I don't remember if Alyssa won her season, is on or was on the GOAT. Spoiler
Oh
for
yeah,
anybody who isn't caught up on the latest episodes.
I'm
And
not,
I
but I
haven't
knew it was
watched
coming.
Yeah, I would like to see Alyssa back on TV as Alyssa competing because
Yeah,
was mostly Justin. There were a couple of
right.
times um, where it was you don't want to be in heels and everything,
Yeah,
like
especially going to
running through mud and
the
yeah.
wig. Yeah.
From aggressive osmosis, this is a little bit of a turn. Have you gone through the journey of loving yourself no matter who you are and what you look like?
Yes, I've gone through that. I've had so many people projecting these things onto me, and I'm like, girl, I lost my weight a long time ago. I have healed. I've dealt with what I need to deal with. Like that's, I'm confident, and I have no. A lot of people. Oh, so here's a lot of thing. People were. Yeah, so people were saying I was fat phobic because I kept referring to myself in third person as like Big J. But that was
Right.
like the producers were like instructing me to do that because like I was using my old photos. So they'd be like, "Oh, how would Big J react to this? What would Big J say about this?" And I would be like, "Oh, Big J
Yeah.
this, Big J that." So it wasn't like I'm disconnecting with that. It's just the same as like Brandon talking about Olivia this, Olivia that.
Now, they can only show so many clips and so much of your very long journey on the circle and filming 24/7 for everybody comes on. Is there anything you wish they showed?
Just like context my strategy, like why I was originally coming for Myles, my end game strategy, because it looks like I'm just angry and blowing up the group chat, but I was doing that like strategically. Um,
Sure.
and I guess just some more of my human moments. Like a lot of it was focused on like my game, and they didn't really show a lot of the moments where like I was in chats talking about my family and stuff like that. But it's an
Yeah.
edited show. There's not time for everything.
I read a little bit more about your strategy that we didn't see on TV. And can you explain the background? Because we've talked a little bit about it and you having to come in late, but there was a lot more to it, like why you did the angry ranting. So give us the scoop.
Yeah. So what part do you want me to start at?
I think it's specifically like the reasoning behind why you felt like you had to do that for your game.
Okay, are you talking about the end or coming after Myles?
Coming after Myles, the chat with
Okay, yeah.
QT, like,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah.
so coming in the middle of the game, my strategy was I need to kind of dismantle whatever power structures are. And when I first talked to Myles, they didn't show everything he was telling me. He told me that he was in a showman's. Even in like our first circle group chat, I called it. I was like, "Oh, I hear there's a little circle." He had
Yeah.
just got into a fight with Cassie. So I'm like, okay, this guy has had power. He's clearly well liked, and there's some fractures right there. So I can turn that into a full break,
Sure.
hopefully. Now, going into my first rating, it looks like I'm rating Myles low immediately because I wanted him out immediately, but that's not the case. Like right when I got there, my strategy wasn't, oh, Myles immediately needs to go. He was on my side. I knew that. So I wanted to have him around for a little bit, but I knew eventually he would need to go. But in that first rating I did, I think I put Myles in fourth. And it wasn't because I wanted him gone. I already talked to Myles. I knew I'd be safe with Myles. I knew kind of how Myles was playing the game. Safe in this blocking. So I was like, let me put someone in power that I don't know how they play so I can get a read on the game. So that's why I rated him low, was to try to pull him down and see how other people were playing the game. And then as time would go on, like everyone I would talk to, I would start realizing how close they were with Myles. So that was just building up this even more idea in my head that this guy is like a power structure. He's in a showman's, first of all, with QT, who I'm recognizing is like my biggest threat in the game. And then after my like influencer chat with QT, I find out that they're in a trio by the way she was talking about Kyle. So I was like, he is like the pinnacle right here, right? And a lot of people were like, he wasn't even influencer. He wasn't even influencer. Why aren't you taking him out? I'm like, I'm tanking his ratings. That's why he's not influencer. Whenever I was in sixth, he was third. And if I wouldn't put him in last, he would have been an influencer. Like everyone loved him in the circle. And he was also kind of playing like a game and the ratings, at least similar to Brandon, where it's like the middle game usually wins because you're not too threatening. You're not least threatening. And that was like the main reason I was coming for him. And then I probably should have shifted to Kyle. But then like after my influencer chat with QT, I was like, okay, I've spilled my entire game. She knows everything because we were in there for like 3 hours. Like we were sending paragraphs back and forth, like everything out.
Yeah, that's
I was
a
like,
long
okay.
time.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I still can't believe it. I can't, but I didn't even realize how long had passed until I got out and went back to my apartment. I was like, it's that late? What happened? So at that point in the game, I was like, okay, this is my turning point. How do I pick up the pieces from here? So my in-game strategy was I need to call out QT and Myles. That way, Lauren, Brandon, and Kyle, they know I'm safe with them. But most importantly, I knew I was probably going to get blocked in the next blocking. So I was like, let me just make myself the biggest target. That way people think I don't have a shot at winning and they'll drag me to the end. That was like, at that point, I was like, if I can get enough people to think I have no shot and drag me to the end, and then they rate me high enough in the final ratings, I could end up like winning the game. Didn't work out. But I felt like at that point, that was the only shot I had. And then like calling out QT and Myles, I wanted to weaken QT's game because I knew there was no way she was going to get blocked, but I at least wanted to weaken her going into finale. And I knew that by calling them out, I would try to be able to attempt to kind of rebuild what I had just thrown to pieces. And that ended up working out for me. At least that did.
I will say, I mean, you made it to the finale. And this season, there were only 2 newbies that we saw come in, you and Autumn. But you, one of 2 that made it with a major disadvantage coming in late.
How
I
did you like that?
heard.
Oh, sorry.
You like that?
No, I said, how did you like only 2 people getting added in?
I wanted to see more. I felt like it was a shortened season, and I don't think time-wise it was. I feel like it was the same amount of episodes pretty much, but I like seeing new people. And you guys, it felt like because it felt shorter, weren't really given a chance to catch up. I mean, Autumn was in and out. I would have liked to see more of her, other new people coming in. I felt like they didn't do enough with Max, and they could have had you know, somebody come in and it was still Max and you had to figure it out again. So hindsight's 2020. There's always things I think fans would like to see differently, but I really liked this season. I liked the strategic. I thought it made it a lot more interesting. I was a little disappointed Max came and went so quick. I felt like there could have been a lot more done with that.
I think the EP had said in an interview that they kind of had to shut it down because they realized once they said there was an AI in the mix, it was just going to become an AI witch hunt for the rest of the show. So I don't think they realized by doing that, it was going to change the entire narrative for the rest of the show. So I think that's why they shut it down the way they did.
And were you, because a lot of times prior seasons, it's about getting out the catfish, which is not the point of the game. Maybe it's a way to win, but did you feel like you had to kind of call people out for that? For catfishing?
No, I didn't care. No, I didn't care about if you were a catfish or not, as long as you were working with me. So I wasn't even really considering who was a catfish, which I probably should have, because if I would have thought, is Olivia a catfish, that would have made me think, okay, maybe she's not this just super nice emotional player. Maybe there's a catfish. And if she's a catfish, that means there's more strategy going on than what I'm believing. So I should have considered it more, but I didn't care.
Once you met Brandon in person and now you've met Claudia, who is the face of Olivia as well, could you see the similarities in personality?
Oh, yes, 100%. They are so much alike and they are so funny together.
I wish they could have played together too. Again, hindsight is 2020, but that would have been fun too. You guys, I mean, Kyle got to bring in Deuce. A lot of people thought that was an unfair advantage. If you could bring somebody with you. Yeah, absolutely. It's a lonely apartment in there. I mean, you guys have producers, but they kind of have to leave you alone. Yeah. But if you brought somebody in or a pet, who would you bring?
Well, I couldn't bring my pets because I have German Shepherds and they would just be destroying everything. Who would I have brought in with me into the circle? That's a good question. Maybe my boyfriend. He's a strategy guy like me. He would have probably bounced me out. Right.
Now, I found out from Brandon that you guys, or at least he didn't know until the day before, that he was absolutely going to be entering the show. Was that how you found out as well?
Yeah. So, well, yes, my path was a little different, but I can't really talk about it. But yeah, with the circle, no one knows you're like you film your intro, and even after you film your intro, you don't know if you're going in until like 5 minutes before you're going in.
Did you feel like there was ever any doubt that you would go in? Because you don't know who the other potential players are.
So actually, for season before, I was on standby in the UK waiting to get thrown in, and I never
Oh,
got thrown in. So I had already kind of known that's how it worked. So I was just going with the flow this time. I wasn't getting my hopes up. I was just like, I'm here. If they throw me in, great.
sure.
But I had a good feeling. I had a really good feeling.
Okay. Yeah, you're there for a second time. Why not, right?
Yeah, right.
What do you think really convinced them this second time around that you were the one to make it onto the cast?
Well, I think watching like just what was going on, it was kind of a strategic like season that was like forming. There was already a little bit of drama, and I think they knew if they threw me in there that I was just going to shake shit up, because I had said if I come in the middle, like I'm going to have to shake things up. If I came in the beginning, my strategy would be a little different. So I think they knew that if they threw me in there, that I was just going to pop off. So I guess that's why.
So why not?
Yeah.
Was there any memorable part of the casting process for you? A strange question, a weird video interview, or anything like that?
Ooh. We had to play like the circle at one point, and it was like
Oh, okay.
fake like people. It was like fake people, and we had to interact like we were playing the circle over Zoom, and that was very cringy. It was very cringy because it's like
That's
they're
so
fake people,
fun.
real people, and it's like stock photos. It was fun, but I was cringing.
I did not know that you guys had to do that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was everyone, but definitely me.
Okay. They wanted to see your level of
Yeah,
strategery.
right.
Now, one strange question, but I am curious about this. What happens when you go to the bathroom or shower? Are there cameras in the bathroom?
Yeah,
Oh, there
so
are, right?
yeah, so it was previous in the like it was different in the UK, but like with us, at least for me, I had two bathrooms. I had like the big decorated bathroom, and then with all the cameras, and then there was another bathroom that was just like called the off-camera bathroom. It was an undecorated bathroom. It was just like a standard apartment bathroom, and there was a camera, but it was always pointed up. So like
Okay.
for example, when Autumn is crying and it shows her crying in the bathroom, that was her off-camera bathroom. But because they went in there, they pointed the camera down at her because
Okay.
like
Okay.
so they have a camera in there and so they can like point it, but it's usually just
Yeah.
up the entire time.
Okay. If you had to choose, who would you have thought Max was?
Oh, I have not even thought about it. I've not considered that. Wait, do you mean like who would I have thought the AI was?
Mm-hmm.
I would have probably ran with Steffi. I think I would have thought Steffi because of the white, specifically because of her photo, like the white
Okay.
background and the Britney Spears joke. The Britney Spears joke was very AI coded.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. Watching it, it seems so obvious that Steffi was not the AI. And it really
Right.
seemed like people were trying to catch somebody unique. But
Yeah.
Max was pretty like generic.
Oh,
So,
100%.
I mean, looking back at that,
That's a good.
I don't know how much AI experience you have. I don't have a ton, but it seems like they'd want to make him blend in more. Maybe not
Yeah.
if they were going to get rid of him quick. But
Yeah, I also think like when you're in there, you have to think from like a kind of a casting perspective too. And I think if you think that angle, you'd be like, this Max guy probably wouldn't have gotten cast on the circle. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Yeah.
Do you think he would have made it further in the game if they didn't kind of self-eliminate him?
Yeah. I don't know how far, but I think he would have definitely stayed in a bit.
Would he have been a target for you?
Ooh, everybody was a target. Let's be real.
Everybody was the target. I don't know.
Yeah.
You seemed kind of loyal to Olivia. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
just because it was part of your strategy, but you guys had a loose alliance.
Well, I was trying to be loyal to trying to control him, right? Which obviously wasn't happening. But I was being loyal to him. Like I was not going to come for Kyle until like I had to.
Okay. I don't know if this is somebody you know, but Sex Kitten Dan says hello from Texas on
No clue who that
Instagram.
is, but hello.
All right. Loving the username. Always fun to see
Yes.
what people come up with.
Right.
Now, We have a little bit of choice for you. We
Okay.
play some games. I don't know if you've seen these before. Some of them are pretty common. Some of them we made up along the way. So
Okay.
I'll give you a choice of 4 games and you tell me which you'd rather play. We have
Okay.
icebreakers, which is just a common like general get to know you game. Pick a partner, which is one we made, where we'll give you various scenarios like who you'd want to survive a zombie apocalypse with. And you have to pick who from your
Okay.
season you choose. Never Have I Ever, which I
Ooh,
think
okay.
you guys know what that one is, and Would You Rather. So pick a game.
Oh, let's do the second one, the scenarios.
The pick a partner? Awesome. I always want to do that. And nobody ever picks it. So we're going to play
Yeah,
pick a partner.
Yes,
My
I'm ready.
notes will
I'm
work.
seated and sat.
Okay. Pick one of your cast members you would do one of the following scenarios with.
Okay.
We'll start easy. Go on vacation.
Oh, that's easy. Miles, because Miles is like a world traveler. He would know all the good places to go. I mean, he's in Brazil right now.
Is he really?
Yes, he's literally been in Brazil for like 3 weeks. He wasn't at the event last night because he's in Brazil.
Nice. I love that you pick Miles, especially because of your on-screen feuding with him. I know it's not off-screen. You guys get along. But
Yeah.
how about to live with?
Ooh. Probably QT. I've seen her apartment.
Okay.
She would be fun. Content creation queen. I'll live with QT.
Yes.
Or Lauren. Lauren would be so fun to live with too. 100%.
And she'd be so nice. You would think that she wasn't a real roommate.
Right? Be like, Lauren, okay, be for real. What's going on? I know you have a bad day.
Who would you want to be stranded on a desert island with?
Ooh. Okay, let's think. Kyle? I feel like Kyle would be resourceful. He's strong. He could probably chop down a tree. We can build a shelter, play Survivor. Kyle, 100%.
I think Brandon said something similar as well. And Cassie did too. Like that's the person that you want to be able to help you survive.
100%.
Who would you want to partner with on another reality show?
Oh, QT 100%. No doubt about it. 1,000,000%. She's so smart, so strategic. I'm just trying to think. Like, what show would we do?
Yeah, what show would you do?
I couldn't do The Amazing Race. I think I would get too upset if like I would be a hypocrite where like if I ruined it for us, I'd be like, my bad. But if someone ruined it for me, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why did you do that?
I'm never talking to you again.
Yeah, no, that would be really interesting. What could we play? Ooh, I would love to be a trader with her on the Traders. It wouldn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
So fun.
I would love to see you guys come back to the circle and catfish together.
Ooh, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be really fun. Like a certain.
Yeah, like an all catfish circle season, all prior cast members, but you guys do not know that. Okay.
Be really fun.
Netflix, if you're listening, you can have that idea. You took my superlatives. You can take my circle idea too. It's fun. We just want to see it happen.
Yes.
Who would you trust with your secrets?
Ooh. I mean, a lot of them, but let me try to narrow it down to one.
You just got to pick one.
Oof. I mean, so I'll say Lauren, just because Lauren has confided some things in me, and I know she's trustworthy. So I'd say Lauren.
How about commit a crime with?
Ooh. Ooh. QT, strategic queen. She would help us figure it out. We're getting out of this. I know we're getting out of it. She's like, okay, Jordan, here's what we got to do. And we would never know. Never know.
And what crime would you guys commit? What would be your...
I mean, we lost the circle. Maybe we'll rob a bank. Like, you know?
Okay.
We need that money somehow.
Good luck. You might be recognizable.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Who would you want to be your wedding date?
Ooh. Okay, who's like a fun...
Not to marry, but to take to a wedding.
Right. Well, I'll take Brandon. Brandon would be fun. He'd be the life of the party.
Yes.
They'd be dancing, socializing with everyone.
Yeah. I feel like I know Brandon like we've been friends forever. I mean, I talk to him on Instagram all the time. And I had asked you, so I'll promote Autumn is doing a show on September 14th here in Phoenix. I'm going to go hopefully meet up with you guys. Are you going to come? Do you know if you're going to make it?
Maybe September 14th. Geez, that's so far out. Hopefully.
I know. It feels like forever, but it's going to come fast.
No, that'd be fun. I would love to see it.
Yeah. Speaking of Autumn, this would be my pick. I would pick Autumn, but who would you want to switch bodies for a day with?
Kyle. I don't know what it's like to be ripped. Like does he just like walk around and like pick things up and accidentally like squish stuff on accident? Like, what's that like? Can't relate.
He must look, I mean, he obviously looks jacked, but I have to imagine that he looks like way more jacked in person because just, like, anytime there's a any physical question, the go-to is Kyle.
100%.
And then what about switch lives with?
QT. I would love to live out here in LA. She's like, she's always out doing something. Like, let's do it. Let's switch. Switching it right now. Freaky Friday.
I should just call that the Freaky Friday question because that's what everybody says. Now, we are going to play a non-optional game. It is called Getting Social. You know this one?
No.
Okay, so we pulled Instagram Reels, TikTok stuff. We went back into your history, which I think is cleaned up a little, but we have some reels and stuff to share from your pages. And I just want your reaction now. You obviously have not seen these ahead of time.
Right.
So let's add these to the stage. I'm going to switch the screen now if I can. Might not be able to. It doesn't want to. Oh. Nope, not going to happen. Okay, so we'll just look at it small. Here's the first one. What's going on here?
I hated that. I was so upset when I saw that in the article, like the Entertainment Weekly article. I was so mad because I was wondering what they were going to do because we didn't take like an actual cast photo. So I assumed they were going to take a still from the like interview. And I was mainly upset with my hair. Like I do my hair like real messy, right? But they had to like flatten it down because of the green screen. So it like looked, yeah, I saw that and I cringed. I was like, not this, but I have to post it. I have nothing else.
Yeah, you don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Oh no, my mouse. Okay, there we go. Okay, now this one I'm more interested in the caption. So it's a picture of you holding a camera because obviously you're a photographer, but it says seeking models born in 1912 who look like Rose from the Titanic, must be 110 years old, no negotiation.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that. That is so random. So random. I don't know. I kind of ate with the caption though. You can't lie.
Are you like a Kate Winslet fan or?
No, maybe I just watched the Titanic. I don't know. Maybe I just watched the Titanic and I was like, let me be funny here.
Oh my, this is such an aside, but did you see they're making another, there's some billionaire making another sub to go down to the Titanic? What?
Oh my God, I also saw that there's like a billionaire that's trying to build a replica of the Titanic as a cruise ship.
You know, I hope it wouldn't sail, but it would be so unimpressive compared to the cruise ships today.
Oh, I know. It'd be so minor. I'm like, when you see the size compare, this is so off topic. When you see the size,
I know, but it came up, like, so.
It must have been a really small ship in hindsight.
Yeah, I saw a scale photo, and again, this is so off topic, but I like to wherever the conversation leads us. And they did.
That's what we talk about the Titanic.
They did a scale of like a cruise ship today to the Titanic, and the Titanic is like a bath toy.
It's like that compared to the ship. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like you would think more money is like you have to have the smarts to obtain that, but seeing like how anyway, that's an aside. Moving on, let's see if I can.
A little Titanic rant real quick.
Yeah, a little Titanic chat. That's going to be the name of the episode title. Yeah. You are a very good sport about the villain reputation that you have gotten on the show. So let's see if I can make this work. Of course I can't.
Oh God.
All that work and what did it get me?
I was like, hey,
So
like people can't hate on me if I'm like self-aware. It's like I'm very self-aware. So it's like when you're yelling at me and you're talking shit to me, it's like, babe, clearly, like, what?
speaking of talking shit, taking advice from my comments and going to therapy with a picture of Myles in your backseat.
I know. I was trying to troll people. I was hoping more people would be in my comments like, oh my God, why is there a picture of Myles? You're so obsessed. Da, da, da. I was just trying to get like the engagement from the hate comments, but people thought it was funny. I was like, okay, sure.
It is funny.
Yeah.
I'd rather people think it's funny. I know you're embracing the villain reputation, but I laughed. Genuinely laughed at that one.
So this was like a little fun strategy I had every time, and I'm exposing it now because it's over. Every time I would post a new video, I would go to my old like hate comments and I would go find the hate comments and I would like all of them. That way they would be like, why is this guy liking my shit? And then they would see I posted something else and come leave another hate comment. Yeah.
Okay, last one. Let's see if I can just do one.
Oh, I had so much fun editing that.
Now, this is you hanging with not only your cast, but with other cast as well. So what was that like?
So that was so this is actually, so like this is like 2 trips that I made into one edit because I had, so like this clip of Myles right here, that's from like in November, and like QT picking me up, that's from November whenever I went and stayed with them right after we filmed, but I wasn't able to post any of this stuff. So like, a lot of it's from that trip, but then like the videos with the other cast, that's from like our rap party, like from 2 weeks ago here in LA.
So you guys are still pretty close and like hang out regularly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna meet up with QT later today. Caress. We're all going out tonight in WeHo. I probably shouldn't have said that, but if you see us, say hi.
Yeah, now everyone's gonna know where to look for you. It's all right. Unless you're on this live, this is not coming out today. We're a little backed up with our interview. All right. We have time for one more game. Then I'll read your spirit animal card. So now you have the choice between icebreakers, never have I ever, or would you rather?
Let's do icebreakers. People didn't get to know a lot of me on the show, so let's break it down. Yeah,
I like that. We'll start with an easy one here too. Okay. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Well, first of all, I would have to be really drunk to do karaoke. But if we're talking about like car karaoke, I know every single word to Underneath It All by like No Doubt, like Gwen Stefani, early like 2000s. Love that song. Love that song.
No Doubt is my go-to karaoke too, just because I love Gwen Stefani.
Like 2000 to 2010, like the music then has not been topped. And like, I was a kid, but it's so nostalgic. Like I have a playlist on Spotify called Consumed by Nostalgia, and it's all just like early 2000s music, like rock and pop, like great. I love that.
I can't take credit for this one, but I stumbled upon a playlist, songs that white people listen to. And there's so much early 2000s pop, R&B, and I listened to that on repeat. And I'm like, you got me.
So good. Yeah, literally.
What superpower would you choose and why?
Oh my God. I just got asked this question recently. Probably flying. I know it's a little basic, but like if I could just fly wherever I want to go and not have to pay for a $500, $600, $1,000 flight, it'd be great.
Right? And the time.
Yeah.
There's so many people that I would like to see and just either live across the country, and it's such a hassle. Flying would be a good one.
Not flying. I just thought about it. Teleporting. Yep.
Yeah. That's way smarter. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I got you. What's at the top of your bucket list?
Oh, well, it's interesting now because the top of my bucket list was always like playing like a social reality game. And it's funny because top of my bucket list was always doing like a show, but now I just feel like the chapter's not closed. I want to do another one so bad and like play an in-person game. Like I want to do some like dumb competitions, like put me on something. That's why House of Villains would be so fun. It's so camp.
Yes. And if you do like that one, I will say The GOAT is my new favorite reality show.
I've only seen the first like 3 or 4 episodes, but it's so camp. It's so fun.
Yes.
And it's
people
so
don't
like
like
early
that.
2000s reality TV drama. Like it's so petty.
It is. I really miss that generation. I'm a big challenge person, and I found it harder the longer it goes on to watch as like new cast changes up. And I like that old school reality. But again, I think that's like songs the white people like. It's just that's your nostalgia coming
Yeah.
through.
100. It's like people hated me on the circles. They said I was playing a nasty game. Y'all would have never survived early Big Brother. Like Big Brother 6 through like 10. Like, Jesus.
Davon, who was Big Brother, then the challenge, and now the GOAT. People come at her so hard for having this like really competitive, cutthroat game. And I'm like, I don't understand. There can only be one winner. You can separate your friendships from this game because everybody wants that bag.
Well, and even more so with like the circle, it's like I don't even know. The whole game is people pretending to be other people. And in my head, none of these people are real. It's like it's not like I'm seeing you face to face.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the real person is different. If you can ask your dogs one thing, what would it be?
Why does Stormy bark so damn much about all the damn time? Like she is so. I think it's because she's a shepherd and she's so just like vocal. But I'm just like, damn girl, I'm trying to sleep.
No, I have 3 dogs, and it's a challenge. I will say that it's definitely a challenge. What would your 3 wishes from a genie be?
Oh, good question. Okay. 1, I could say the cliche answer, ask for unlimited wishes, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that. I actually have to edit that question right now.
So probably like give me like a good like $60 million. I could have gone higher. Let's say $800 million.
Okay.
Let's say give me put me on the Traders. And third, well, I feel like the money solves like a lot to say. So I don't know what the third. The third. Oh, make me instantly jacked. Give me the abs and the muscle. Go for it, like instant.
All right.
I don't want to work for that. I don't want to work for all that. That's too much.
I know. I mean, I can only imagine how much time Autumn and Kyle spend in the gym.
Yeah.
Last one. What movie or TV show would you want to be your real life?
That is such a good question. Oh, that is such a good question. Ooh, TV show. Oh no, I'm not thinking of anything fast enough. It's hard because I mainly watch reality TV. I'm a movie guy, but I do not like watch a lot of like scripted television shows. What's like, let's just say Narnia. Can you imagine walking through with your damn closet and all of a sudden you're
my God.
in the snow?
That is a good one.
Yeah.
What? Why don't you host a reality TV, YouTube, or podcast? You're a reality fan.
I mean, it would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. Maybe I will. Like when Big Brother season comes out, I definitely want to go on other people's podcasts and like recap. Because Big Brother, it's like I'm a feeder. Like I love it.
I haven't watched Big Brother in a long time, but if you want to come on, I will watch Big Brother with you.
Okay, I'll come on. We can do it. We can do a little recap moment.
All right. Let's do it. Now, last thing before we go, I got inspired by Steffi to do some tarot readings. They're not always accurate, but sometimes they are. So these are spirit animal cards. It's going to give you a themed animal and give you a brief horoscope and just tell me if it applies to your life or not. So pick a number between 1 and 54.
22.
22.
That's my number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should have asked you before. Okay. You got the armadillo of protection. God damn it. This stupid fake screen. I'll read it to you. I got to turn off the background, but my background is so boring. I tried to spice it up a little. Okay. You are entering a phase where in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. So does it apply to you at all? And if so, how? And if not, then we move on.
No, I don't think it applies because I'm good at saying no to things. Like if I don't want to do something, I'm not gonna do it.
Oops. Okay.
So yeah, maybe
That's
not.
fair enough. I think you're the first one where, and obviously we don't know for sure what everybody's thinking, but where you have said it doesn't apply. Now, again, Jordan, thank you for coming on. We have loved having you here at the Love Pod. Please tell us if you have any projects going on you can talk about and where to follow you on social.
No projects. I'm just trying to get into my like a vlogging bag, like TikTok style, like Reels, kind of like that one we watched. So if you want to follow me at It's Jordan Staff everywhere, I'll be posting that, especially for my weekend here. It's gonna be a crazy weekend. Yeah, nothing coming up yet. Waiting to get a call for something, but I'm under contract, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, we'll put the vibes out into the universe at least.
Yes, 100%.
And then, of course, if you want to follow us, rate, review, subscribe, you can do it at Love Pod Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hi, Mom. We're just wrapping up now. Sorry you missed it. And we will see you next time. And we love you. Thank you again, Jordan.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.